Joining us now with more than $500 billion in assets under management, U.S. Bank Asset Management Group Senior Investment Strategy Director, Rob Haworth. Rob, you're an optimist here, aren't you? Why so?
Yeah, we certainly are, Liz. And I know we have a lot of uncertainty in this economy. We're not really clear how tariffs are going to impact the economy, but we still see this as glass half full. We see low jobless claims, continued consumer spending growth, and those artificial intelligence infrastructure investments continue to drive this economy. So we're looking towards those sorts of investments, not just the semiconductors, but the whole stack. That means you need to be able to collect and process the data, store it, protect it, getting into communication services with the hyperscalers, and then getting into the industrial companies and the utilities, because we have to have the power and the equipment to get those investments processed and to get that data processed. So it's a large secular trend that we think still is going to drive this market into year end.
So you are not scared off by the circularity, so to speak, of what people have been talking about as far as just a little bit of worry seeping into the AI trade, and that is that so many of the big hyperscalers are leaning on the oracles of the world. OpenAI is the one, as we like to say, sort of that load-bearing wall through all of this, and you're still comfortable with the hundreds of billions of dollars being spent and not as much revenue coming in just yet.
Yeah, no, we absolutely are, right? We're really moving from that first phase of getting artificial intelligence built to getting it used, right? And that's the next phase we're starting to see. That kind of takes us to the second notion we have. While healthcare is probably the worst or second worst performing sector in the S&P 500 so far this year, there are certain opportunities there that are opening up because they're using artificial intelligence, right? They're able to get more through drug discovery, able to leverage that to improve their earnings. And so within healthcare, we wouldn't say the sector overall is interesting, but we would look for those specific opportunities in healthcare that are being driven by that kind of next level of opportunity here.
We are looking at a live picture of the White House right now. Volodymyr Zelensky just got into the car, the leader of Ukraine, after a relatively positive discussion with the president. Rob, this war is still going on in Eastern Europe, and Zelensky actually kind of floated the idea of drones, Ukrainian drones trade for U.S. Tomahawk missiles. So there's a lot of action there. And that certainly helps some of the companies that are here in the United States if we continue to supply them with weaponry. Do you look at that, or do you go somewhere else, like retail?
Yeah, we'd probably look somewhere else at this point. I mean, there is some opportunity there in defense, but we think artificial intelligence outweighs that. We would look more in the retail sector, because as we hit holiday season, we are seeing a mix shift for consumers, right? They're really starting to focus on value. And that takes us more to the big box retailers, where they're looking to be able to get more bang for their buck, look for more unique opportunities, right? It's a little different holiday season, I think, than we've seen in the past. So we'd look a little harder at retail than we would at defense just at this point. Although I have to admit, more geopolitical calm would certainly be an improvement for investor sentiment as we look forward.
We're looking at a headline right now. NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi will unveil the first Blackwell chip wafer made in the USA. Let me just punch up those two names, because this is an area that you feel you really do like. Let me see. NVIDIA right now, we do have it moving higher by 1%. And if we could look at intradays, because that may help us to see if they're getting any pop. Taiwan Semi at the moment is down about 1.5%. But this from Reuters. This just goes to show that these relationships are continuing. Quick 10 seconds. What do you think the Fed does? Cut at the end of this month?
Yeah, it seems like a near certainty that the Fed cuts, and they'll need to do it one more time here in December. So more help to come for the market.
Rob Haworth, thank you very much.